Hello there, boys and girls, eighth graders. It's nice to be with you again in this distance learning environment. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the final details, hopefully, fingers crossed, associated with our optical art that we had begun many days ago. We had put it on hold because I wanted to get into the nature art, the in plein air art, and that has been very fun. But I noticed that, we had some raindrops in our forecast, in our weather of late, and some of you may want to finish the optical art as your assignment for the week. Remember, you'll have a choice. You can turn in any of the nature art sketches that you have completed throughout the week, Wednesday, Thursday, or today. Or you could turn in your finalized version of the op art. So let's get started, okay? There's my pencil. There's my large pink eraser. Here is my protractor with an inch ruler at the bottom that I may use. And I may pull in the metallic guy too. Who knows? Okay. All right. So here's what I wanted to tell you. I think I mentioned this the other day. I am adapting an online diagram and I'm trying to measure it a little bit differently according to our purposes here. So bear with me. I hope this final lesson will go well. But if I have to pause and scratch my bald head from time to time, it just means I'm thinking. I'm teasing. I think we're going to be okay. All right. So here's the first thing I want to do. Remember the B for the bottom and the T for the top. I've got my paper arranged in a horizontal manner. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the edge of my protractor and I'm just going to extend this bottom line all the way over to these columns that we had created the other day. And incidentally, I looked at a lot of the optical art diagrams that you people had turned in last week, and very, very good job of following directions. The diagrams looked exact to mine. That pleases me. It blows my mind, too, that we can communicate in this virtual manner and still achieve really, really good results. It's kind of cool. We're making the most of a tricky situation. I'm going to put that letter B back because we had erased it. Okay, so you see this diagonal line up here. I'm going to try to replicate that diagonal line towards the bottom here. And what I'm going to do is there's going to be a diagonal from here to here. So if I'm remembering correctly, this is over a ½ inch, and we're going to measure up 1/2 of an inch. Okay, so there's my 0 point on my protractor, and this is ½ inch right there. And if I, have a little point there, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, if I connect these two dashes like so, we're going to have a fairly identical angle to the one at the top, okay? And I'm also going to come over with a straight line here. So I'm going to come up again a ½ inch to make that straight horizontal line. So there's my 0 starting point, and there's a ½ inch. And if I bring my protractor in here and square it up as best I can, we'll have a fairly straight line. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to come up one more ½ inch this way, and we're going to create the same angle at the top as we go. All right, so let's just stay at the bottom, however, for now. Okay, so I'm going to come up a ½ inch and then a ½ inch more. So a ½ inch plus a ½ inch would make 1 full inch. Okay, so there's 0. There's my ½ inch. And then there's my full inch. And if I connect this point to, oops, sorry, I keep doing that. My big old head bumps the video, I apologize. So there's my angle there. And I want to create the same angle here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come over. I don't really want to draw this portion of the line. So I'm just going to make a little mark there. I didn't draw the entire horizontal piece there. I just made a little dash mark here because from that dash mark, I'm going to measure up 1/2 inch. And there you have it. And if I connect these 2 points, this point to that dash, we're going to have a pretty identical angle. Not perfect, but fairly similar. Okay? All right, now we're going to come over straight here. We're going to come over straight here. Let's go back to the bottom. Okay, so what did I say? Came up 1 inch here. So to make a straight line, we measure twice in order to cut once, or in this case, draw a straight line. So I'm going to come up with 1 inch mark there. I'll try to lean in with my big head without bumping the camera this time. And there's my straight line there. Okay. All right. Now, let's see here. Did I come down 1.5 inches or so from the top? I don't remember. Yeah, it looks like 1 inch plus 1/2 inch. Okay, so 1.5 inches. So that's what I'm going to do from this top edge of the paper. Here is 1 inch, and then let's come down 1/2 inch more, somewhere in that general vicinity, and that should give us a straight line. If I connect these 2 points in space on our paper, there we go. And let me look at the diagram. The diagram wants us to come up one more diagonal at the top and also at the bottom. So let's see, is this up 1 inch from that particular mark? Yes, it is. So let's come up 1 inch and then 1/2 inch more. So from this corner here, boys and girls, I'm coming up 1.5 inches. Let's connect those 2 dashes. And we've got our final diagonal line. And let's do the same here. What did we come down? 1.5 inches? Is that what we did? Yep. Okay, so let's come down 1.5 inches. We'll make a little dash mark there, or a point, and then we're going to go up, what is it, 1/2 inch for our final angle. So let's do that. Okay. And if we connect these 2 points in space on our paper, we've got our final diagonal. Okay. All right, now I'm looking at the diagram here, and it wants me to draw a straight line to the edge of the paper. Okay, so this time let's measure from the bottom edge of the paper to that mark there, and let's see what it puts us at. Is it 2.5 inches? Yes, it is. So this is 2.5 inches from the bottom edge of the paper to that point right there. So if I come over here on the edge of the paper, and I'm filming, Jake.
Sorry.
That's all right. What's up? Sorry about that. Being a dad. That's my oldest who just got a teaching job. So lost my train of thought. What did I say? 2.5 inches, right? Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to leave my protractor a little bit on the paper because it's see-through, and I couldn't see the markings so well when I had it on the dark edge of that wood. Okay, so this is 2.5 inches. If I connect these 2 points, we should have a fairly straight line. Oop, I missed that point a little bit, but that's okay. I got a fairly straight line going off the edge of the page. I like it. Okay. And then what did we come down here? Was it an inch? Because we added a half of an inch. Let's see. Let's check it. Yep. There is 1 inch. So if we come over here and come down 1 inch and connect those two dash marks, we've got ourselves a straight line that goes off the edge of the paper. Okay. And then I'm noticing in the diagram that they're wanting us to have a bold line on the edge of the page between these two lines that we just established. And I'm going to pull in actually a Sharpie, and let me put piece of paper underneath kind of as a blotter because I don't want to mark up my table. Okay, so it wants us to put a bold line right on the edge of that paper. Let's see if this works. Went over it a couple times. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So if you have, something dark to establish that line, in fact, what I'll do, and I probably won't do this on camera, but, probably what I'll do when I'm done teaching you the rest of the diagram is I shall darken all of this with Sharpie, and then I'll post like a final picture of it on the Google Classroom. But you should be able to tell the optical illusion before we're done today. I hope, fingers crossed. We're at about 12 minutes, okay? So you see these extra lines up here where the letter T is located? I'm going to get rid of those. Okay, and I think I'm going to get rid of the letter T because we're pretty far along in our diagram, and we kind of know what we're doing by now. We know which end is top and which end is bottom. Okay, and I've got to clean up the bottom portion here. We've got to do one last little measurement, and this is where I'm going to kind of wing it a bit. And this pulls in a little bit of basic geometry, okay? So I'm glad I have this protractor. But these angles that we're putting in, they look roughly 45 degree in their measurements, okay? These angles, they look to be roughly 45 degrees because I'm sure you guys have used measurements with protractors measuring angles. So here's the point where our two perpendicular lines intersect. This is 90 degrees here, and if I continue this angle, that'd be about 45 degrees. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I want a 45 degree angle to be connected to this line here. Okay, so let's see, how am I going to do that? Like I said, I'm winging it a little bit. Okay, let me, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend this line just a smidge. Okay. And let's see, that looks to be about an inch over. Yeah, it's about an inch. And then let me see if I can plot a 45 degree angle from the end of this 1 inch line here. Okay, and the 45 degree angle would be like right in here. It goes off my page a little bit. I don't want it to go off my page. So let me pull it in here. I want it to connect with that edge right there. So it would be right about here. Let's see if that works, boys and girls, and then I'll clean up that extension of the line down there at the bottom. Okay, if you can't get this corner angle exact, it's no big deal. Okay, so does it look like I came over about 1/2 inch now? Let's see. Yeah, that's about 1/2 inch. So when I came over 1 inch at the bottom, I came over too far. So from the corner here, you come over 1/2 inch, and then that'll help you establish that 45-degree angle. Okay, just do your best in that corner if you can't, you know, totally duplicate what I just did. Like I told you, I was kind of, you know, winging it on the fly. Okay, so I don't know if you figured this out just yet, but these are supposed to be stairs. And they are supposed to be stairs going down, kind of like, I don't know, it's an opening in a floor, perhaps. Okay, maybe it's a theatrical stage, and the stairs disappear, you know, beneath the stage. But here's what you got to do to make it work optically. Okay, I'm gonna erase this little reminder here on 7 inches, and I'll take away the 7-inch mark at the top here, and I'll take away this 6-inch reminder on the side and the 6-inch one here in the middle of the diagram. Okay, so it involves a little bit of shading and a little bit of fine-tuning, if you will, to finish. Okay, like I said, if you only have a pencil, that's fine. And I'll clean this up more prior to me posting the finalized version. But what I'm doing is I'm taking my graphite pencil, and this is where I said if you had 2 different colors, a lighter color on the edge of the stairs, which I'm putting in right now, and then you'll probably need a darker color for the shadows, the dark shadows that will be established on the sides of the stairs. And these stairs kind of remind me in a way of the setup that I had. My wife and I spent a good many years of our marriage living in a small but lovely Cape Cod home. And if you're familiar, Cape Cods oftentimes have very steeply pitched rooftops. And so literally we did have a set of stairs that kind of descended down into our kitchen, and they literally, if you were upstairs, they literally disappeared into the floor, or at least it looked that way. Okay, so this area here and this area here has got to be your deeper, darker color. Okay, so like I said, I'll fix this up better before I post the final version, but I'm taking my pencil here and I'm pressing harder. And I'm breaking my one rule a little bit. How I used to tell you guys quite often, you know, try to color and shade in the same direction. But here's why I'm breaking that rule just a little bit. I know that I'm going to eventually cover this with Sharpie marker. So you're not going to see these graphite pencil lines. Okay, they're going to be quite covered with the Sharpie marker, I promise. Okay, and the Sharpie marker will enhance the optical illusion portion of the optical art. And like I said, it'll play tricks on your eyes, and you'll say to yourself, am I truly seeing what I think I'm seeing? And that's the beauty of op art. It's really cool. And I did get a lot of feedback from you on what your favorite optical art was from that video I posted. And I don't know that I ever told you what mine was. Mine was the Spider-Man image, if you saw that one. The image of Spider-Man crawling up the side of a building. That's pretty cool. I don't know how those people do that. They're so talented, those street artists. They really are one of a kind. Crazy talented people. Okay, so here's what the we're about at 20 minutes here, so I'm going to cut it off pretty soon. Here's what the online assignment says to do. It says to turn your paper, speaking of 45 degrees, they say to turn it at about 45 degrees. And here's what I'm going to do, boys and girls. I'm going to detach my camera, my phone, from the little holder that I have it on. Bear with me for a moment, because I want to get a little more of an aerial view for you if I'm able. Okay, so let me stand up here. Okay, so there you have it. It's supposed to look like stairs going down and disappearing through the floor. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the lesson. It was probably the most detailed lesson that we had done in terms of measurement and following directions. I'm going to clean mine up a little bit, and I'll post the final version to Google Classroom. But there you have it, 8th grade. So today, either finish your op art or do another nature drawing and pick your favorite and post it to Google Classroom by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Thank you. Take care now. Happy drawing. Bye-bye.